What is up, everybody? Jurgen Klopp's Reds have defeated Genk by 2-1. It wasn't a vintage Anfield European night, but you know what? The job was done. Connor's Martin parading 60 around. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she lovely? You made that happen, Connor. You made that singing happen.
How exactly? Just from this?
Just from waving around, yeah.
Like, they can't score now.
Look at the amount of yellow cards in that Slavia Prague Barca game. Anyway, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back, and we are going to concentrate on your comments and your thoughts on Liverpool's 2-1 victory over Genk. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Gini Wijnaldum. Gini's goal was a little bit of a
Scoopy dink.
Scoopy dink is the phrase that Connor's using to describe it, which I think is absolutely wonderful. Actually, I want to give a quick shout out before we get into the stream. I was just going through the YouTube comments and stuff to see how we were doing subscriber wise, and Sean O'Connell, absolute shout out to you, sir, if you're watching. He pulled up a mistake I made. Now, I make many mistakes, so I could be pulled up on a lot of them, but he went all the way back, and I mean all the way back to when we were playing Porto in the Champions League, and he commented that I said semi-final instead of quarter-final. I mean, I respect that, sir. I respect the dedication to watching it. I respect the hustle. And well in. And you're right, I need to be taken down a peg or two from time to time. So well into you. Right, Connor, let's get straight into the comments. I'll go one, you go one. How about that?
That sounds fair enough.
Right, what have we got? So, how did you get that top? Alex wants to know. I'm assuming he's talking to me.
I went to Orlando and I bought this t-shirt in a gift shop.
But how did you fund that trip to Orlando, Connor? Huh?
It's all the cash in the YouTube money, isn't
it? No, I was just really lucky. I knew that they were going on sale and managed to grab one that day. I'm very fortunate to be able to get the blackout top. They saw that really quick. Yeah, just lucky. I was actually, I'll be honest with you, I was fully expecting to receive an email going, oh, sorry, your head's nearly gone through it. Oh, there he is. Connor's gone through. Connor is now the subscriber count. Yeah, guess how many subs we have. If that was me, they'd just say, I don't know, a forehead amount.
0.
Right.
Egg is 0. Sure.
Your turn.
Right, someone said Jack has been stripped of captaincy. I don't think that's true, is it?
I don't know. I'd be more concerned of the manager being stripped of the managerancy.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google this because
managerancy isn't even a word.
No, I like that though.
Managerial duties, will I go with? Your opinion on Granit Xhaka being stripped of the Arsenal captaincy, is that another one? I think it must be the case, mate. If
yeah, it's 2 hours ago.
I think it's the right decision. I think that I never want to hear of a player receiving abuse like he's claimed to have received. But at the same time, you expect a certain level of certain level of professionalism when you are representing a club the size of Arsenal.
Can we just mention the fact though he's actually dog shit?
Oh, he's dog shit. 100%. He is. He shouldn't even be on the pitch, let alone be a captain.
He's the epitome of a player who does fuck all, then scores a banger, and everyone oh, he's class. He scored that goal. Well, no, he's fucking shit. 90% of the time.
I have a Liverpool player that reminds me of. I'll get in trouble if I say it though. John Arne Risa.
I was actually thinking Risa.
Oh, the amount of people
he wasn't shit, but
he wasn't Granit Xhaka shit, no, but he wasn't as good as people like to reflect on.
Too much, like.
Yeah, I mean, he used to take 50 shots and one of them would go in and we'd never hear about the end of it. And look, I love John Arne Risa. He seems like a really nice fella. But yeah, that just brought that to my. Did you mean to have the caps on? Somebody said with regards to what? I don't know. If there's any problems,
well, he had a comment on the caps back.
It's his fault.
No, it's his fault. He just
but we've give a shout out to somebody who messaged you on Twitter.
Oh yeah, well, let me get the name.
Yeah, I'll let Connor. We'll get back to you in 1 second because this person's an absolute superstar. We had a conversation during the stream about TVs and not being able to black them out while you're watching it.
Pixel NME, absolute legend.
Pixel_NME, thank you very much, sir, for sending us like a screenshot of a way to actually do it. You, sir, are a legend. Thank you. You'll get yourself a free super chat. Unfortunately, to do it, you're going to have to buy the super chat. But then we'll make up a second comment for you on your behalf, mate. That's how highly we think of you. No, in all seriousness, though, legend. Thank you. See how we were about the Napoli game. I actually got a ticker for the game, said Scotty. Nice one. That's class. If we win that game, we're pretty much done and dusted. As things stand, actually, let me just pull up the group. You grab the comments.
Next game,
yeah, Napoli's next. Then we finish with Salzburg away.
There's only one Annie agenda. I like that. That's good. Cahill looks a million miles away to be ready to start games to Liverpool. Yeah, he was okay again. Like he hasn't been reaching his potential, what we've seen of him at Leipzig, but like
I've got to be honest, like I've been a massive if you guys could just see like over my shoulder I have a Naby Keita shirt in my living room and Yeah, it's tough. I still believe in him. Charlie, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said I'm Irish as well. Just an update on the group. So as things stand, Liverpool topped the group at 9 points. Napoli second with 8 points. Salzburg in third with 4 points, and then Genk bottom with 1 point.
Fix it. So.
What I'm wondering here though is right. So if we go and beat Napoli at home, that puts us on to 12, leaves them on 8, and Salzburg can get up to 7. So yeah, we beat Napoli and we top the group, basically. We beat Napoli and we can rest players going to Salzburg because we will have topped the group. That is delicious.
That's what you love to see.
Because I'm not going to lie. I have a little bit of saltiness towards Napoli. Not because of their fans, not because of any anti-Italian nonsense or anything, just because of how bitchy they were. And remember the draw for last season's Champions League. And the fact that they celebrated beating us in Naples like they'd won the competition. So yeah, I would absolutely love to.
I mean, we are fucking massive though. So
WFM. Feel like I watched the wrong game as a neutral fan, said boy, I get that.
I get that sometimes watching games as well. You just miss an absolute banger of a game.
It happened one night when I think I was doing a watch along of I don't know what one it was. I think one of the Spurs games or the Ajax games.
I think you actually swapped over half.
It's happened.
It happened to me before. I went to a League of Ireland game. Like I don't really have a League of Ireland team, so I just kind of just picked a random one. That game ended 0-0. 3 other games on, I think it was a total of like 18 goals in the games. So
what did you think of Gomez's performance, guys, as Curtis Dalton? It's difficult to answer that. I mean, I didn't notice him too much, so that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, didn't make any mistakes. We didn't have a lot of defending to do, to be honest. So didn't have a lot to do.
The corner is still bugging me. The goal we conceded still bugging me, if I'm being honest about it. But look, it was job done, and it wasn't great. It wasn't pretty today. I really wanted Mo to get a goal today, mate. I really wanted.
Yeah, it would have done wonders for confidence. Like. Do you think there's any argument to be made from not to start against City then? Maybe like Mane on the right, Origi on the left, and Origi seems to be more forward.
God, it's a difficult. We'll put it to the chat. I mean, what do you guys think going into the game against Manchester City on Sunday? Is there any argument to be made for putting Divock Origi in ahead of Mohamed Salah based on form alone? I mean, how long does a player's reputation get him to keep the shirt?
Yeah, because when the confidence is down already, do you want to just give them a kick in the teeth by taking them out of the team? But then again, that could spur him on to kick into gear again.
Look, we're saying this from a position of everybody loving Mo. I mean, nobody wants to be getting on top of Mo's back. But at the same time, this is a massive game on Sunday. So, yeah, it's a difficult one. Move Salah, yes, said Stewart. Thoughts on Salah and Origi were disappointing, said Peter van der Schaans. Gomez needs to start over Lovren, said Reactors. And you'll never get an argument from me, mate, against that. I would always play Gomez over Lovren alongside Van Dijk. My only issue was that Gomez hadn't got much game time in his role back, at centre back in particular. But yeah, I agree. What about you?
Yeah, Gomez all the way. Lovren's alright, people give him too much stick, I think.
If Lovren has a good game, he's quality. And he can be absolute quality. But I think if you see Dejan Lovren's name on the team sheet over Gomez, if you're Manchester City, you're going to think you can get at Lovren.
Yeah, that's it. Like if you're looking at our team and Lovren's there, I think any opposition is going to look at that and say, right, there's a weak link.
Ella said, I hope Oxlade-Chamberlain starts and he's in great form and scoring goals. Look, for me, I said this during the watch-along, he has to start. I cannot justify him not starting in my head. He's on form.
Yeah, what's that, 3 games in a row now we scored from midfield, 4 goals in 3 games.
You're almost expecting him to come out and score when he plays. I mean, if the fucker had have done it from outside the box, he'd have won me a few quid. But Crack-On's on 359 subscribers.
WFM.
We're 141 away from hitting our pre-first stream target on there. If you don't know what we're talking about, we will be doing a fight companion or a watch along at the Logan Paul KSI 2 fight from LA, the Staples Centre. Well, we're not going to be there. We're not going to be in LA. Chance will be a fine thing. I mean, fucking True Geordie's just turning down job offers left, right, and centre.
We're probably sitting right here, so give us some suggestions what to put there.
What do we put? Well, actually, I have an image that usually works for boxing that I've used once before, and the stream failed miserably. But anywho, we'll be doing that on Crack On, which is our second channel, ladies and gentlemen. And a thank you to Charlie Darcy who subbed as well. If you're looking for the channel itself, it is just spelled CRAICON. There is a link in the stream description below, or you can just go youtube.com/crackon. It's basically Craig and Connor put together, and It is a fucking clever name, I have to say.
It is.
I wish I came up with it.
I was pretty proud of that one.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was class. Now you just need to fucking do something with the header on the YouTube page, mate, because it looks shocking.
Pretty much it, no.
I mean, Lawrence wouldn't get away with that type of stuff, honest to God. Sub said 40-year-old Virgil, thank you very much. That name always makes me smile.
Oh, if we start posting a crack on it, no, like all these like YouTubers have like the Logan Paulers, we have the crackers.
I still think the crack store has something to it, mate. I mean, when I open
that's when we sell merch.
When I open my stand-up comedy venue. John Hamilton put a link in there. Thank you very much, John. Right, let's get back to the game tonight. So Greenland said front three should be Firmino, Mane and Origi. I honestly think there was a real argument to be made for that, mate, going into that City game. Plus, imagine the game's tight, City are tiring, and you get Mo coming off the bench.
Fairly fucking scary for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, how many times have we had to put up with
Sané,
our defence? Yeah, and Leroy Sané coming off the bench, like. And I've said that many times. That always worried me in games because him as an impact sub is ridiculous. Phil McCracken, love that name, love it. How can people say drop Salah? He's not in form. I mean, you can have an honest conversation around a player not being in form and not be like wanting them out of the club, mate. I mean, I've always said that a player in form deserves to keep the shirt, and it's your shirt to lose. I think Origi has been more impactful and done more in games when he's played recently than Mohamed Salah. I don't think he's a better player than Mohamed Salah, but for me, I want the best 11 players on that pitch to beat Manchester City on Sunday, and at this moment in time, on form, Mohamed Salah isn't anywhere near the levels he's capable of. I mean, we have to be adults about this and have a genuine conversation. Doesn't mean we want him out, mate. Doesn't mean we hate him. Like,
it's interesting though. Like for a team who's won so many games over the course of how long season we go on, 2 months. Like we don't have that many players actually in form. Like the team is playing alright as a whole, but like individually there hasn't really been any like really standout players or anything. Maybe 1 or 2, but like.
With a really interesting stat we heard actually from James Richardson on BT just before we came on is that Liverpool, what was the stat?
We've only won by more than 1 goal in 1 of the last 9 games.
Or we haven't won by more than 1 goal in the last 9 games.
No, there's only 1 in the last 9.
Which is mad because in my head we've been giving teams hidings. It's really strange.
We've just been dominating games, but just not seeing them out as early as we used to.
Oh, actually, seeing the Cop Council in the chat there, Connor, I do apologise to you, mate. I did see your message on Twitter. It's just been a really busy day and I haven't had a chance to get back to you. Promise you I will, mate. I won't ignore you. And yeah, apologies.
Same with boys in the chat. Actually, I was seeing your message there a minute ago. I'll get back to you after the stream.
What have we got? So LFC 8092 said I'd start Oxlade-Chamberlain beside Hendo and Fabinho behind. It's a good show. Good show. Play Oxlade-Chamberlain with Hendo and Fabinho in the midfield.
Yeah, that's a good show.
That's a good show because we're gonna need that shield, and Hendo can.
It's a good mix of creative and solid, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. I really do like that. That's the midfield that I would love to see start, mate. It's a really good show.
Have we seen that yet? Have we seen Ox and Henderson yet?
I don't know. I
don't think we have.
I mean, maybe we've seen them for a few minutes. I don't know, but it's a good show. And it gives us a little bit of everything. It definitely gives you the work rate needed as well. What have we got? Said at G-Man, I agree he should be playing no matter what. I don't know what to say to that. About Salah playing no matter what. You can't live off reputation alone. I mean, what does that say for us as a football club? Are we that small-minded? Are we that insecure as a football club that we feel like we have to keep playing players who aren't in form? I don't think so personally, and I want to keep going back and saying I love Mohamed Salah. I know how good he is, and I've every belief he'll get his form back, but we can't take any passengers or potential passengers into this game. That's my honest opinion about it. I know a lot of people won't like it.
You have to be ruthless to succeed. It's like you look at Bayern, how many managers they've gone through recently. Like when you compare, was the Kovac's record with Emery's at Arsenal now, for let's say, like, but they've actually been quite good, but it's not good enough. And same with Salah, like he's playing alright, but he's not banging in the goals. So he needs to kind of just like get back on form, really. Just give him a kick up the arse and maybe drop him for a game or two.
It is a tough one, as LFC 92 said. Salah's a tough one. He's out of form, but on the other hand, we know when he can pull things out of the bag. So can Origi, is my argument though. And one thing that for me with Salah, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this. I don't know if it's from that injury before the World Cup. he doesn't seem to be running at players as much anymore. I don't know if I've invented this in my head, but he used to be more direct. He used to get the ball down and run at people, and that's what I'm seeing from Divock when he's on the left. And look, it's a really tough call, and thankfully we're not the ones being paid to make this call, and we'll have a proper build up as the week goes on. Your shirt triggers my autism. That's an absolute bullshit comment and an insult to anybody with autism. You can't fucking trigger autism, mate. As somebody who is on the spectrum and has an autistic son, that is an absolutely fucking ridiculous comment. You can't trigger autism, mate. It's something you have. You can't switch it on and off like a fucking light switch. It's a very, very, very horrible... Yes, thank you, because it's a fucking ridiculously naive comment, mate. You can't trigger it. Like, I'm sorry. It might sound harsh, but it's the opinion of somebody who's talking at their arse, quite frankly. I think dropping Salah would drop his confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, but like...
Again, though...
At no point, you can't just leave him in the team and... Like, yes, like, we're probably sounding a bit harsh. He hasn't been dog shit or anything. But like... I don't know, it's hard. He hasn't played that well, but he has been... Like someone said, he has 5 goals and 3 assists.
Alright, let's... We were having a conversation a few minutes ago about Naby Keita. And we were saying that Naby Keita hasn't hit the heights that you said you'd seen at Leipzig and that we'd seen previously. So there wouldn't be the same type of fume if Naby Keita didn't start. So why, if Salah isn't in form, are we not able to have a conversation that says maybe Mohamed Salah shouldn't start this game? I'm sure he will start it. I absolutely think he will. I just think there's an argument to be had there.
I think with Salah though, because like with midfielders, there's an obvious really competition there between like a pool of 4 or 5 or 6 players. But with the front three, they're just so established. Like to actually take one out then is a big deal.
Mark Hentley said Salah still got an assist. Yeah, didn't really have to do much for the assist though. I mean, the work was done by Oxlade-Chamberlain, to be fair. Team first said Greenland. Salah occupies defenders and creates space for his teammates. See, I would argue that that's what Bobby Firmino does. And he used to be the one that allowed Salah and Mane to have that space. Oh God, it's a really tough conversation to have, because I kind of keep coming back to say I love Mohamed Salah. Yeah, I think there's a conversation to be had there. Salah's presence strengthens us whenever he plays, good or not. Does it?
Was it like, especially like last year and the year before, like after the ridiculous season he had, like they always had like 2 or 3 defenders on him, like which creates space for the rest of them. It's basically,
if I guaranteed you that Mohamed Salah was going to be at 50% of his ability on Sunday, you're still saying to me, his presence is enough.
Like, is it not kind of what you said about De Gea? Like, players know going up against him, they have to get his perfectly in the top corner. So when they see their Salah, like, even if he's playing shit, he still could pop up with a goal.
How is Salah in bad form if he still has more goals and the same amount of assists as Firmino, said Isaac. It's relative to what they're supposed to be doing, mate. I mean, Bobby Firmino does a lot more work than a regular number 9 does. And look, it's a conversation, and I fully appreciate your point, mate. And there is arguments to be made on both sides here. But are we comparing it to Bobby Firmino for goal? I would be comparing him to Sadio Mane as an example. And Sadio Mane is somebody who is without a doubt in form. Yeah, look, people are very protective of Mo, and I like that. I like to see that at better fans as well. And it's great that we look out for our players, but I've always told you you'll get my honest opinion on the channel. Junior said Oxlade-Chamberlain will score a banger on Sunday. Wait, how could you go against that?
The man only scores bangers. Like. So
let's get back to tonight's game, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, man of the match for tonight. Another difficult one. How many times have we said this lately?
I'd say Ox, to be fair. He's just decent enough and got the winning goal. Like,
well, if it hadn't been from outside the box, I would have been saying without a shadow of a doubt. It is a difficult one.
I think Trent was alright. He didn't really do anything good, but like...
There's been a lot of solid performances lately, hasn't there?
Yeah, he's just been good. Like, he wasn't excellent, but he was good.
Alison said Stewart. Oxlade-Chamberlain said Nathan Carter. Dave Sweeney said, Craig, I have a friend who went to a conference and she overheard 2 ladies who were discussing how to cure autism. She wanted to butt in and say something. The lady works with autistic kids. Well, it says a lot that, you know, she's patient enough not to say something, mate. But I suppose, look, education is important around any subject, and I have to say that before my son was diagnosed with autism and autism came into our family's life, I wouldn't have been well up on it at all. So, I mean, education and anything, and any illness or any scenario, or in racism or homophobia or whatever it might be, education is always a good answer. Making people more aware of situations can only be a good thing, and a conversation can only be a good thing. Klopp, man of the match, said Stewart. I didn't see the match at Charlie Darcy. It wasn't a vintage performance, Charlie, but I mean, it's job done, and with the result in Naples, Connor, it worked out kind of well.
Yeah, top of the league. We're top of the league and top of the group.
Top of everything.
Top of everything.
Top of everything. I mean, we're so good now, they're even making us play twice in 2 competitions in 2 different continents. Just again, to reiterate for people that might be coming in that aren't sure about this, the way it's worked out, Liverpool's League Cup semi-final against Aston Villa at Villa Park will be played 24 hours before, I think it's before, isn't it?
Before the game in Qatar, yeah.
Before Liverpool's World Club Championship semi-final in Qatar. So basically Liverpool are going to have to field 2 different teams with 2 different sets of coaching staff in 2 different continents, in 2 different competitions, because we won the Champions League. Basically, because we're successful.
We're too good for the Carabao Cup.
No, but what's important to remember here is this makes an absolute fucking mockery of all those dickheads that think that the FA and everybody bend to Liverpool's will and want us to succeed at every turn.
Yeah, it's just idiots really who don't actually look into stuff. Like, they see, oh, they got a penalty, everyone must be trying to get them to win the league, when they don't see everything else that happens. So just that didn't happen. If it doesn't suit their agenda, it didn't happen.
David Newell's begrudging you.
I see.
Coke, you're a fucking legend, mate. I love it. He said, Craig, if your fridge is a diet chav short in the morning, it's Connor's. I'll make him run out to the garage, mate, and buy one before he leaves. Don't worry. Love Super Sub Fairclough on the show. Great points. It's your Ferguson. I mean, love David Fairclough. Nothing but love for him. Klopp will play such a young team for the Villa game, said Rodders. I wonder, yeah. And do you know what? It is their competition. The young lads have got us this far anyway, so.
Well,
I mean, it would
some
be.
of them not be going with us though, still, because we have 2 games fairly close, don't we?
I don't know the dates between the semi-final and the final. I don't know. I'd imagine 3 days, 2-3 days probably. But yeah, you would want the young lads there for the experience in an ideal world of the World Club Championship. Of course you would. It's a shit show. It really is. It's very fucking ridiculous that Liverpool are in this position. Where are your cans of beers? Well, Jamie, I don't drink, mate.
I'm driving, so.
Connor's driving, so, you know, we are responsible.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Sunday morning, Saturday night.
And this isn't going to break into a difficult reggae song for once. Yeah, the Logan Paul KSI fight, honestly, it'll be messy, but fun. Under the influence is the phrase I'm going to continue to use so I don't land myself in any hot water whatsoever. Gomez needs a run of games to get his form back, said Aditya. I think that will be starting to happen, mate. And particularly, one thing that intrigues me about Joe Gomez and the Dejan Lovren argument is it's looking very likely that Dejan Lovren's Liverpool career is coming to an end. Whether that be January, whether that be in the summer, those links to Italy, in particular AC Milan and stuff, won't go away. Whereas Gomez probably has a long-term future at the club, although there were links to Arsenal.
There was linked to Arsenal and Spurs, which was interesting. But yeah, I think Lovren probably won't leave in January though. Don't think Klopp will let him go unless he has someone lined up to replace him.
Tom Boland wants King Kenny to manage for the Villa game.
It would be nice to bring back somebody. I wonder did they ever contact Rangers to get a loan Gerrard for a game.
Our fan base are so beautifully crazy at times that if Sir Kenny Dalglish managed and won that, there'd be clamours from to want to give him the job.
Or do we say get him out at half time?
Get him in to replace Klopp in 2.5 years. Your opinion on Heung-Min Son's red card being overturned? Right decision, but really unfortunate circumstances. First and foremost, as always, our thoughts with Andre Gomes. It was a yellow card tackle that led to a horrific injury unintentionally, although it was a foul.
My only disagreement with that is when your team like Spurs just doing these fouls all the time, it was bound to happen at some points. It's you have to put blame on the team as a whole, nearly Or am I completely wrong on that, do you think?
No, I understand the point. It's a really tough one.
If the team was constantly doing cynical fouls, it was bound to happen at some point.
Human nature comes into this, and you could see it probably shouldn't, and maybe it didn't come into decision making, but you could see how upset Son was at what happened. He didn't care about being sent off in that moment. He only cared about Andre Gomes. You could see it in him. He was distraught.
Yeah, I'm not saying like when I say like it's kind of the team's fault as well. I'm not saying they meant to do it. I'm saying when you're trained to do these fouls the whole time, it was always going to happen at some point.
Yeah, and we complained about it when we played Leicester, and we had a tackle from from Hamza, came in and absolutely
that was
fucking.
much more malicious than some like.
It was, but we spoke about it would kind of be okay if it was one of those clip the ankle tackles that we see so often, which kind of is what happened. It was just a really, really unfortunate set of circumstances, and look, it's again your thoughts just have to go to Andre Gomes, and you wish him a speedy recovery. Virgil van Dijk and Fabinho man of the match, said our man. Cynical fouls, watch City on Sunday. I mean, the amount of this is going to sound so bullshit already, but Fernandinho gets away with a ridiculous amount without getting booked.
I don't really take much notice. I don't really watch City, to be honest.
Aurier should have been sent off, not Son. I don't like. I know his foot was on top of.
Son kind of fell into him, didn't he? They kind of just like do a both
Gomez.
and they happened to just collide, like really.
Gomez, his foot was. I don't know. I can't see any argument for Aurier being a red card, if I'm being honest with you. I know there's a still image that shows Aurier's foot on top of Gomez's foot, but I mean he has to stand somewhere. Like I don't know. Stuart Fergus said, Craig, as I said before, I feel sorry for Everton. I don't. Fuck them. Absolutely, fuck them. Fuck them.
Like
fuck
3
them
points
again.
off the drop zone, aren't they?
I hope they go down, and I hope they go down to Division 2, and then I hope they go out of League Football, and I hope that we can just laugh across Stanley Park at those bitter fools who, fuck them. I love the city of Liverpool, but as a club, Everton, fuck them. No, don't care. I know some people actually would hate them to be relegated because they love the derby.
It is a bit of crack, like it's good to have them rivalries in the league, like, but.
Nah, fuck them. Honest to God, fuck them. Like, seriously. Yeah, I mean, when they're not even playing us and they're cheering other teams. Like, nah, fuck them. What have we got then? FA do us no favours, nor does Martin Atkinson. Well, I'm going to stand by what I say, but Martin Atkinson beat a cheat.
Don't get him started on Atkinson.
Atkinson is the new shrinkflation. Look, ladies and gents, we're really close to hitting 26,400 subs. If you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that button. Somebody says, how much is the KSI Logan Paul fight? £9.99 on Sky and Box Office. It's going to be a really, really late ring walk. I think the main event will probably be about 4 a.m, maybe something along those lines. Don't hold me to that though. Sometimes those things can be moved. Did I hear about Pep saying that Mane dives? I did, Kieran, and it goes to show you that we're living rent free in his little noggin, mate.
It's 40k on the Watchalong as well.
Say again?
40k on the Watchalong.
Nice. For a game that was on terrestrial TV in Ireland and stuff, happy days.
Games,
Liverpool are going to beat Man City, said Charlie Darcy. Love it, Charlie. Love it, mate. And I know you're convinced that we're winning it.
I'm fully convinced we're winning it. Don't know why, I just feel like we are. Like,
Howard Webb or Martin Atkinson? Oh, God, the answers I want to give you to that, mate.
I think Howard Webb was longer, so probably Webb.
Oh, see, I'm thinking completely different lines to everybody else. My is like I've got one bullet. Where's it going? Like, that's the way my mind went when that question came in. I would have more respect for Howard Webb, not as a referee, but because he was a policeman. Although, was Atkinson a police officer as well?
No, yeah.
I think they're both from South Yorkshire.
He'd definitely be shooting innocent people if he was.
Howard Webb got to a higher standard of refereeing. I mean, he refereed the World Cup final, made the bollocks of it. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't really know if Martin Atkinson doesn't like Liverpool. I just think that he's a cheating, shitty ref. And I mean, I say cheat because he cheated us, but I don't know if he cheated. I feel he cheated us. I don't know if I feel he cheated us and has something against us, or if it's coincidental that I feel like he cheated us twice in 2 games.
I've seen people throw around stats on Twitter about him, and like apparently he's very biased against us and City,
and I know Mark Goldbridge, for instance, fucking despises him, doesn't like him one bit, like, and he's a United fan. So
Arsenal fans, actually, I remember I put a tweet about Atkinson during the Liverpool game, and then Arsenal played the following week, I think, and he was to give a penalty or something, and everyone started retweeting that again. Like, the Arsenal fans were going in on.
Armin wants to know what we think about having Villa and then playing again in another continent. We touched on it a little bit earlier, mate. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's what it'd be if we won both.
Oh God, it'd be fucking beautiful.
Just like Curtis Jones and the boys is beating the fuck out of Aston Villa.
Oh, it will be absolutely beautiful. I have to say as well that I joked about this the other night. Somebody brought it up and I said, "Oh yeah, they're discussing that, but that's never ever going to happen." Well, actually, I think it was they were talking about the same day, but like even one day apart, it's ridiculous. It's like you're being punished for being successful.
Do you reckon they leave any like big players behind?
No, because of the flight. Why would they drag them over for the flight down for the final?
No, I mean leave them behind for the tournament. Like.
Oh no, not at all. I fully believe we want to win. I want that Club World Championship over the Carabao Cup, without a shadow of a doubt.
Not to disrespect the other team, but surely leaving Henderson and one of the front three maybe. Or just something like that, like one or two good players.
I mean, we're going to come up against a good South American side in the final probably, so...
Yeah, I suppose.
And it's a competition that we lost in Tokyo before.
So he's not going to leave anyone behind.
It'll be very, very intriguing to see what 11 goes out in the Carabao Cup. And from a purely selfish point of view, 2 watch-alongs in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So there will be that.
Like, decent times for us, aren't they?
I've no idea what time.
I think it's like 7 o'clock in the evening. The Qatar one.
Nice, that'll do.
That could have been local time though, I'm not sure.
Craig picked the cup team for Villa. Oh, Billy, I don't even know where to start, mate. Honestly, I'm very intrigued to hear more about what Jurgen Klopp has to say on it, because I've been out and about all day and I haven't had a chance to see anything today. What is this? Alfie said, "Hey Greg, I've been sick all day." Greg has every sympathy for you, Alfie, mate. From Greg to you. No, sincerely, mate. I'm sorry to hear you're feeling unwell. I hope you feel better soon. I mean, I'm dying here. I mean, some of us just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe don't complain. Just get on here like a fucking legend. Fill yourself full of fucking Sudafed nose spray. No, I'm only joking. Honestly, mate, I hope you feel better soon. There's definitely something going around.
Well, I'm getting this call. I have a sore throat today, so
you caught that off a cow though.
Mad cows,
mate. So, I mean.
Mad cows, these are from.
I remember that. I mean, I didn't eat beef for 2 years, and then I found out that it actually takes a lot longer to like, it's not something that you eat a bad piece of beef and then you've mad cow disease. It takes years apparently to go through your system. And do you know the first person to be diagnosed in Ireland with mad cow disease was Shankill?
Really?
Yeah.
That's not a good
he was
nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, he was in my primary school. Unfortunately he passed away, God rest his soul, sincerely. But yeah, it's a horrible statistic, but unfortunately a true one.
I mean, you have a fair few statistics you could pull up like that.
Yeah.
We won't go into details.
I'm just trying to decide now whether I'll turn my autism on or off. Where's the switch on the back there? I mean, that comment.
That'll definitely be clipped up now.
That's one of the most ridiculous comments I've ever seen in the chat from somebody. Especially from somebody, especially South Africa win the World Cup and I'm full on South African accent. Especially from somebody who said they're on the spectrum, like madness. Can I say that to you all the time now? Connor, stop, mate, you're triggering. You're triggering me. Trigger warning with Craig.
Don't give him more things to say to me, please.
Yeah. What else we got? Gonna leave Lonergan behind. He's gonna play for first team game. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna make the trip or are you gonna stay and play Villa?
I'll stay behind.
Yeah, I think we need you for the Villa game. Any chance of a few tickets, mate? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's getting tough. Sorry, I know it's an away one and all, but any chance of a few tickets? What have we got? Especially Maddison or Haaland? Well, 2 completely different positions, Alex.
This one with Maddison.
I take Haaland. Do you know? I think.
How old is Haaland?
19, I think. Is he 19? I think he's 18 or 19. I could be wrong.
I was thinking I'd rather a creative midfielder than a striker.
I swear, Scotty said, "Craig, are you having a small drink on Saturday?" I swear to God, I thought they'd say, "Craig, do you have a small cock?" Well, I would have answered yes in the affirmative.
Or did you actually see the word cock or did you see dick?
I probably said dick, but my head automatically translated. And no, Scotty, I won't be having a drink on Saturday.
Craig doesn't drink. Basically,
just clicking off what is he going to be. Right, he said no to drink. Right, we'll take that one off.
It's just like guess who? He's just popping down the things as he asks questions.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm gonna look forward to it. I would go Haaland because I think we can like bring through a player in Maddison's position. Like, I think with Jones, Chamberlain, but look, I do like Maddison as well as a footballer. I think I'd be interested to see the price tags. That would have an influence on my decision as well.
Yeah, that's true though.
We should ask Rafa to come back as manager for the Villa game. I mean, I think we're forgetting we have.
I was thinking we should just be able to like nominate. We just like put Arsenal back in for that game. And, like,
Alex Inglethorpe or somebody will, or like one of the underage managers will manage the fucking game. Like they'll be sound.
That'd be so weird though. I've seen like none of the normal stuff there. People are saying Pep Linders.
They should full on leave the Klopp lookalike. Get your man, like get your man, not the one in our coaching staff that looks like Klopp. I mean the guy that goes around like looking like Klopp.
I'm going to say any shouts for Buvac to come
back. The klaxon. Oh God, if I could boot you out now, mate, you'd be booted. Loved Chris Kamara's honesty on the VAR debacle. Yes, I did as well. And then more impressively, Andy Gray. I mean, I spend a lot of time talking shit about like Andy Gray and Richard Keys, but in fairness to Andy Gray, like he was honest. It was a bullshit call.
You could see just the pain in his eyes as you had to say it though.
He basically like
he nearly stopped at one point saying, it's me saying this.
Like he'd take off his top Everton shirt on underneath going, and I'm still saying this, like. But no, look, credit where it's due. Yeah, and same with Cammy, I thought he was spot on, and more of that, honestly. I've seen a few. I've said Lee Bowyer talking about it as well, and again, similar thing. I mean, Klopp gets sacked. That's just not going to happen. Klopp would have had barely any sleep travelling to two different continents. He won't. I can't see any way he goes between the two.
Oh, not a chance.
Not a chance. No, he's going to want to be there with the players, like. Read your own comments, mate, said Brian Morrissey. Oh, sorry. Fucking hell. I thought he was talking to me. I was thinking, I was actually imagining, like, as I speak, the words coming out of my mouth, like, what else we got? Right, couple more minutes, ladies and gentlemen, then we're going to finish up, whatever you want to call it. A midnight live open Midnight live open workout, for KSI Logan Paul. Nice, yeah. If that's your thing, the weigh-in, I always like the weigh-ins because I like the mental warfare. If we win the Club World Cup and we get the gold badge, yeah, we will. And I will definitely be buying another shirt with that gold badge on it.
For 6 months?
No, I think I got it wrong. I think I was automatically thinking that next season, I was thinking it was 2020. It's 2021 when the new competition starts, I think so, yeah.
So we'll have it on the night kits then, so?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an intriguing thing, actually. Which one would you buy?
What?
Because they won't sell the badge on its own. You might have to get a Moody bun off eBay somewhere or something like that. I mean, imagine that.
YouTube money, like,
imagine New Balance in one season there, flogging last season's kit with the 6 times on it, this season's kit, and then flogging this season's kit with the gold badge on it as well.
And 7 times.
And the Champions League one, yeah. Oh, it would be the best final year for them ever, like.
They're in the mud once we're gone though, like. It's horrible, but that's the way it's going to go for them, like.
Still got Ireland. James McLean.
Can we get that tumbleweed effect back?
Are you automatically in the next one if we win it? In the next World Club Champion? No, you've got to win the Champions League. But I think we are in the next. We're going to be in the expanded competition in 2021.
What is it? The winner like Champions League and then like Asia's equivalent to that, and then
yes, South American, Oceania. I mean, I'm not even going to pretend to know all the federations, but yeah basically. Job done tonight, said Matt Jones. Could tell the focus was a huge game on Sunday. Actually, Chamberlain to start. Yes, and absolutely agree with your last comment as well, Matt. Yeah, none of us are disagreeing. I don't think so. You Chamberlain starting Sunday? You'd like to see him?
I'd love to see him.
I reckon New Balance will try for a decent sized club to the Eclipse Fusion. Yeah, look, it's very, very. I'm going full on South African. Oh fucking hell. I've got nothing but good things to say about New Balance and their time with Liverpool. I've liked their kits, I've liked their training tops, I've liked the trainers that they've made. But I also understand the club's perspective on wanting to push on with Nike. They wouldn't be my first choice for a kit manufacturer, but I mean, I haven't really ever heard your comments on this, or they even heard your comments on this.
I'm much like you, would prefer Adidas to be fair, but Nike are good. Happy enough with it, more money. That's all you want really.
Mbappe, Sancho,
yeah.
Everybody.
It's all coming together.
4:30 PM kickoff for those asking for Sunday as well, so we'll be going live at about 4 o'clock thereabouts. Diaz versus Masvidal 2, who wins? Yeah, it was such a shame to see the first one stop because of that cut in Diaz's eye. I mean, Nate Diaz, as we know, is a warrior, and it's very unusual to see a UFC fight stop with the ref or with a doctor for a cut. I see it going the same way the first one was going, probably Masvidal to win, because I think maybe Father Time is starting to catch up with Diaz a little bit. He always have an engine on him, and look, I'm no MMA expert by any stretch of the imagination, but Masvidal is fairly handily winning that fight, and although Diaz comes on stronger in the later rounds, I think Masvidal would have won it. I think he'll win a rematch. That's my opinion. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No. Same with him.
Yeah, and then Canelo knocking out Kovalev was interesting as well in a close fight that he just exploded in the 11th and sparked him, and fair play to him.
I think you need to have a fight sometime, don't we?
You need to either come up a couple of weight divisions, pal, or I need to go down a couple of weight divisions. But I mean, if we can sell out the copper box like Joe Weller, and
we'd sell out the cardboard box.
Well, like, we're doing our live show in the Vicar Street. I told you that already. That's going to happen someday. If it involves me buying every ticket, we will sell out Vicar Street and do a show in there someday.
With 10 people sitting in the crowd.
Don't care. Those 10, we'll go full on Manchester City. It was sold out. Can't help it if only 10 people showed up. It was sold out.
All sold to Mr. C. Holden.
Thoughts on Katie Taylor last week on her future fights? Yes, look, Katie Taylor again, a 2-weight world champion. Yeah, congratulations to her. I thought she deserved the win. I've no fucking understanding whatsoever why the Greek girl was upset about it. I thought Katie Taylor won it handily. Yes, the last fight against Delphine Persoon, I think she lost, if I'm being honest about it, and that's a rematch that has to happen. But Katie Taylor is now in the illustrious company with Carl Frampton, and I keep forgetting the other fucking person that's done this. Collins, of being Ireland's only 2-weight world champions, and you got to give it to her. Katie Taylor is a legend. I've signed Katie Taylor boxing glove in the house here, which is actually my daughter's, and she cherishes. And my daughter's no interest in boxing, but she's been inspired by Katie Taylor, as I'm sure many other young men and women have up and down the country and around the world now. Shout out to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom for what they've done for Katie Taylor and how they've brought on women's boxing as a whole. So yeah, nothing but love. She gotta be proud of Katie Taylor, mate. Like,
she's an absolute legend. I don't really follow boxing too much, but she's a legend. Like,
yeah, I mean, the story goes back when she was starting out that she had to pretend to be a boy to get into amateur fights because there was nobody would sanction female boxing, like, so she'd pretend to be a boy, like, to start out, and that's just true. Like, that's not me making it up. So yeah, nothing but love for Katie Taylor. She's a true inspiration and a role model for anybody out there who can see what hard work and dedication gets you. Like, yeah, class. Right, 3 teams have finished second for 5 years in a row. Not even touching that. Happy Guy Fawkes night to everybody. I didn't even know it was Guy Fawkes night. Did you?
Neither did
yeah, happy Guy Fawkes night then to everybody. I still hate that fireworks are illegal in Ireland, by the way.
I thought that, but then I see a post on Twitter today that was someone's like 6-month-old pup died because someone loved fireworks and he had a heart attack. Like, when you see stuff like that, like, it makes fireworks fairly fucking pointless. Like,
I mean, I'm lucky that my dog doesn't get too worked up by them, but I've been around dogs who are, yes.
Oh, my dogs are shit scared of them. Like, every time there's fireworks rain, just straight running into the house, just trying to hide. Like,
I think, yeah, okay, it is difficult. I mean, you've got to be careful around them.
It depends. Use them sensibly, out in the middle of a field or something, not like in your back garden in a busy
yes, I think for organisations and stuff to be able to get them, like, say you had a football club or a rugby club and you had all your underage teams there together for a party and it was fully maintained and contained, and yeah, I think that
not just you letting offload in your back garden for no reason, like.
It's kind of mute though, because you just drive up to north and get them if you wanted them.
That's the thing.
I mean, yeah. But look, I understand the thing about animals. That is a very valid point. I've seen dogs absolutely shaking with fear with fireworks going off. You got to think about those as well. Sad to see Anthony Collar retire, said Alex. Yeah, it is again. But think about it from a positive point of view, mate. Anthony Crawler won a world title. He came back from having a brick smashed over his head when he chased somebody that broke into his neighbour's house, I think. And he came back from that to win a world title. So nothing but love to Anthony Crawler. I thought he lost the fight, but it wasn't about that. It was about just saying farewell to somebody that again, a great ambassador and role model for the sport.
Like, you take Brian's comment there.
Why is True Geordie a thing? What was missing in people's lives before he came along? He's a pioneer, mate. I mean, he is one of the first real people. Like, he's a real bloke. He's just a normal working class bloke that, I mean, I've nothing but respect and I won't begrudge him anything. I love watching it, but I like watching it. I think Lawrence was brilliant as well. I think they complement each other magnificently, and I think that as a pair, they're stronger. But I mean, nothing but love from Brian, as in True Geordie for me and you. I know you're a big
not
fan.
Brian Morrissey, like.
I know
no love for Brian Morrissey.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of True Geordie as well. Like
Lawrence is a legend as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to meet them someday.
I'd love to go on the fucking kickoff. Fucking hint, Brian. I'm only joking. Like, I've seen some B-Tech Craigs on there. Like, do you know what I mean? Get the real version, mate. None of this Pepsi Max nonsense. Irish guy, where are you from? Irish guy, where are you from?
Who's the Irish guy? We're both Mexican, obviously.
Si, senor.
Si, senor. I'm from Wexford. He's from Dublin, but moved down to Gorey after becoming a top level footballer.
Yeah, I'm called the Jackeen, even though I've lived in Wexford for fucking 12 years, something like that. I like True Baldy better, said Dave Sweeney.
True Baldy's good.
I've got the Twitter handle.
I mean, True Baldy's name is good. The fella who actually is there is a bit of a twat.
I took that Twitter handle, by the way. I do own @True Baldy, so shout out to whoever came up with that one. Was it Farwell? I think whoever it was, fair play, thank you. What else we got? I think we're going to finish up, actually, to be fair. I see Casper asking along the stream we go for. Look, 2 shout outs before we finish, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us tonight. It's been fun in a different way. I know normally we do watch alongs and post match shows a little bit differently, but when you get Crosby into Jesus, you got to sit back and have some fun. And look, we are going to be doing a couple of things this week. We will, of course, be doing a watch along of the Manchester City game again together on Sunday, although I've already told them I'm ignoring them during the watch along, and I'm going to be doing proper commentary.
I already said I was going to be like the background. I was going ooh and oh shit, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sexual noises basically in the background. But on Saturday night we're going to be doing our first ever stream on our second channel, Crack On. We're going to be streaming. I'm going to be very clear on this. I think
it was Dave Sweeney. Yeah, he True Baldy.
We're going to be doing a watch along fight companion. We will not be showing the fight because we don't break copyright rules. But we're going to be doing it on our second channel. It's our first video on there. We're going to be under the influence. It's going to be fun. It's going to be even more off the wall than this one. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, if you enjoy what we do on here, we think you'll enjoy how we're going to do things over there. So it's called Crack On. It's spelled CRAICON. There is a link in the description below. youtube.com/Crack On. We'll be going live for the 3 main fights on the card. So I hope to see you there. We'd love it to get to 500 subscribers before we even do a video on the channel. Mainly because we have a bet between us, and I don't like losing. So if you give a fuck about me, ladies and gentlemen, if you care about this bald Irish twat, you can go over and subscribe to Crack On. But look, as always, thank you very much. Thank you to Connor for joining me. Thank you to you guys as well. The Reds are in a really good position to qualify to the next stage of the Champions League, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be back with tomorrow night's late night agenda. Up to motherfucking Reds.